Hello, my name's still Darrell Wildberg, and yeah, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. And contrary to that idiot who calls himself to hell, I'm in good standing. And to Vanderpuke, they don't believe I am. Now, I got to show you these comments that were made. It's just, if it wasn't so jovial, it would be disturbing, because these people are mentally diseased. I mean, they're not only unbalanced, they have no balance at all. It's sad that they want to prove that they're this way. Now, this is, I made my 2 remarks yesterday to Vanderpuke, and this is what she said last night. Dear Wellberg, thanks for that almost unintelligible onslaught of utter gibberish. Or gibberish, I guess it is. Gibberish, yeah. It's really very simple. Those 8 loving, self-sacrificing, wonderful brothers in Warwick don't discourage certain activities in the hope that the flock will completely ignore them. See, now she's changing up the subject matter. Before she said that I was instructed. It was an order. It was a rule. Have you heard of the power of suggestion on the unconscious mind? It is a mind control technique, and the GB are very good at it. And then she post some link. And this is my reply to her. At Vanderpuke, the dipstick. I know this is really difficult for your feeble and discouraging mind. Try really hard not to get the sense now. Try really hard now to get the sense of the following truism. I do not work for those 8 wonderful, loving, self-sacrificing brothers who are labeled the governing body. They are not my leaders. Break out that Bible. And don't look for any pictures this time. Get someone to read this verse to you. It is short and sweet. Matthew 23, 10 through chapter 10, verse 10. And it reads, and I'm reading from the New World Translation, but it doesn't have Holy Scriptures, but it doesn't matter which Bible you use. Neither be called leaders, for your leader is one, the Christ. Please do whatever is necessary to force feed that truth into that feeble organ you call a brain. You are beating a dead horse here, Vanderpuke, dipstick. You already got punked. Just when you could have admitted that you were wrong, you tried to change the subject matter. You are certainly living up to that nickname I gave you, dipstick. It's time to move on, you dipstick. And then when you get some time, get that person who read the scripture in Matthew, to read this scripture for you, 1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I urge you, brothers, through the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, that you should all speak in agreement, and that there should be no divisions among you, but that you may be completely united in the same mind and in the same line of thought. Yes, Vanderpuke, I am brainwashed, but not by the governing body, you dipstick, by Jesus Christ. Now go remove that big fat stupid foot from that big fat stupid mouth, because you look funny walking around all day with your foot stuck in your mouth, dipstick. Now, just 8 hours ago, she replies to this. Darrell Wildberg, Watchtower, 2009, page 215, paragraphs 24 through 28. And she quotes it variably. The faithful and discreet slave today is represented by the governing body, who take the lead and coordinate the kingdom preaching work throughout the earth. Now, the members of the governing body are experienced, spirit-anointed elders. They, in particular, can be described as those who are taking the lead among us. Hebrews 13:7. Those who take the lead are leaders, Darrow. One cannot take the lead without being a leader. And yes, they can, moron. Jeez, you can't change the meaning of words when it suits you. Now just stop here for a moment. Here, this moron tries to tell me yesterday that the word discouraging means instruction, and it means rule. And then she's claiming that I'm trying to change the meaning of words. You can't make this stuff up, folks. And then she continues, but then you seem to believe that being a leader and taking the lead are two different things. So what did I expect? Well, they are. Taking the lead and being a leader are two different things. You can claim that Jesus Christ and Jehovah God are your only leaders until you're blue in the face, but the only person you're fooling is yourself. P.S. I did not change the subject. You are unwittingly being instructed by the governing body, masters of mind control, who use the power of suggestion. Hell, they have you believing that a leader is not a leader despite taking the lead. So if I lead somebody down a path, I'm in front of them. I'm not necessarily ordering them to do anything. I'm just taking the lead. But she can't seem to understand that. So a couple hours ago, I replied to her, Vanderpuke, you keep sticking that big fat stupid foot in that big fat stupid mouth. The Bible is the authority, not you, Vanderpuke dipstick. A leader orders you to do this or that. One taking the lead says, let's do this or that together. We have one leader. I know that is difficult for you, dipstick. Matthew 23:10, because you've tried to change the meaning of the word discouraging into the word instruction and then into the word rule, and then claim that I am changing the words taking the lead to leader. Let me get this straight now. Now, please follow along here. You claim I am unwittingly being instructed by the GB and then claim I am disobeying the GB. Now seriously, Vanderpuke dipstick, who is the hypocrite here? Who is the hypocritical one here? You did change the subject matter. Discouraging does not mean instruction or rule as you contend. Get a life, because I'll tell you what, you suck at this one. And then invest some of that $200 you promised me into a dictionary, because you got punked again, Vanderpuke, and you must like it. You keep coming back for seconds and thirds and fourths and fifths. You just keep coming back. And then an hour ago, I wrote this to her. At Vanderpuke, please show me a direct order from the governing body to not use YouTube for making videos, to visit chat rooms, blogs, or threads like these. Not a suggestion or caution or discouraging, a direct order and or an instruction. Let me save you the time. They will not make such an instruction, or they could be blood guilt. See, if Jesus Christ wants us to do that, and they tell us, oh no, you can't do that, they could be blood guilt. But then again, you are blinded by your daddy Satan. Did you ever wonder why the Bible says only people like you who are unbelievers are the ones blinded by Satan? 2 Corinthians 4:4. Get someone to read that for you too. And then that to hell guy, that moron, makes another video. Does Daryl Wahlberg have 80,000 viewers? You can really see anything like the hooligan. He doesn't pay his electric bill, but his comment is jovial to say the least. Now here's his comment. This was about 5 hours ago. Veronica Vanderpuke says you're discouraged to engage in commenting on these videos, etc. Where? Where does it say that I'm discouraged to comment on YouTube videos? Just show me any article that says that. You agree, but say that you are not instructed to. Therefore, you are admitting to do what you're discouraged to. How are you in good standing then? I don't know, moron. Maybe I'm just making these Jehovah's Witness videos because, why? There would be no reason. So I wrote this to him. So Vanderpuke is your authority, huh? Remember what he said there. Veronica Vanderpuke says you're discouraged to engage in commenting on these videos. Of course, this guy has that high feminine voice because he's a homosexual. The blind leading the blind. Both are stuck on stupid. I see you cut that hair, trim that beard, and even took a bath. Of course, I'm just guessing on the bath part. And no, I haven't looked at your video. You don't even have lights on in it. I can't see. Nobody can see anything anyways. You apostates all flock to the same part of stupid. Discouraging does not mean instruction, nor does it mean rule. Why not invest some of that $200 Vanderpuke has promised in a good dictionary and then educate yourself? You apostates just can't get the sense of the truth here. So break out that Bible, if you still have one. Most homosexuals like you burn them. And read Matthew 23:10. Neither be called leaders, for your leader is one, the Christ. I work for Jesus Christ, not for the governing body, not for the branch, not for any elder. Why don't you try this suggestion? Why don't you write the branch? Now, all of you can do this. Ask them to put it in writing that they order or instruct us Jehovah's Witnesses not to make videos on YouTube or visit chat rooms or comment on YouTube videos. They cannot do that. And I know that because I wrote and asked them that. Because if they did, they could be blood guilt. And then ask them if Daryl Walberg is in good standing. Or just continue stuck on stupid. You seem to like being ignorant. Would you jump off a cliff if your daddy Satan suggested it? You seem to follow others like Vanderpuke. Vanderpuke says, no wonder I call you a moron. Jeez, where does Yahoo find these morons? Now to the topics of the day. What we learn from Jesus. How spirit creatures affect us. Jesus lived in the spirit realm with his Father before the world was, John 17:5. Therefore, he is well qualified to answer the following questions. Are angels interested in us? From Jesus, we learned that angels are deeply interested in people. He said, joy arises among the angels of God over one sinner that repents. Are you listening to this? You apostates, disfellowshipped, disassociated, inactive ones. Luke 15:10. Jesus revealed that angels are given the responsibility to look out for the spiritual welfare of God's servants. Thus, when Jesus warned his disciples against stumbling others, he said, see to it that you men do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that their angels in heaven always behold the face of my Father who is in heaven. Matthew 18:10. By this, Jesus did not necessarily mean that each of us has a guardian angel assigned to him, although that could be the case, we don't know. But Jesus did show that angels who work closely with God have an active interest in members of the Christian congregation. How can the devil harm us? Jesus warned his followers that Satan tries to stop people from learning the truth about God. Where anyone hears the word of the kingdom but does not get the sense of it, Jesus said, the wicked one comes and snatches away what has been sown in his heart. Matthew 13:19. Jesus exposed one way Satan deceives people when he presented an illustration about a man who sowed wheat seed in his field. The man represented Jesus, and the wheat represented true Christians who will rule with Jesus in heaven. However, Jesus said that an enemy came and oversowed weeds in among the wheat. The weeds denote false Christians. The enemy that sowed them is the devil. Matthew 13:25 and 39. Just as weeds can look like sprouts of wheat, and there is a weed that looks exactly like it in its infancy, but if you eat it, it would make you deathly sick. Those who claim to be Christians may appear to be true worshipers. Religions that teach false doctrines deceive people into disobeying God, like Vanderpuke, and to hell and Marcia and Denise and Vinny. See, Satan uses those people in false religion to rob people of friendship with Jehovah. Now, how can we stop Satan from harming us? Jesus called Satan the ruler of the world. John 14:30. Jesus revealed in a prayer to God how we can get protection from Satan. Concerning his disciples, Jesus prayed to his heavenly Father, watch over them because of the wicked one. They are no part of the world, just as I am no part of the world. Sanctify them by means of your truth. Your word is truth. John 17:15-17. Knowledge of God's word can protect us from being influenced by the world of mankind that Satan rules. Now, how do angels affect us today? In the conclusion of the system of things, Jesus said, the angels will go out and separate the wicked from among the righteous. Matthew 13:49. We are now living in the conclusion of the system of things, and millions are responding to the good news of the kingdom. Matthew 24:3-14. This year, or last year, was the highest amount of baptized people in over 20 years. But not all who begin to study God's word gain his approval. You didn't gain it, most of you. Angels direct the work of Jehovah's servants, and people who genuinely love God are separated from those who do not want to apply what they learn. Describing those who do gain God's approval, Jesus said, these are the ones that, after hearing the word with a fine and good heart, retain it and bear fruit with endurance. Wrestling against wicked spirit forces. Why is the activity of wicked spirits of particular interest to us today? Many people scoff at the idea that there are wicked spirits. The greatest lie that Satan ever told was that he doesn't exist. But it is no laughing matter. Whether people believe it or not, wicked spirits do exist, and they try to exert pressure on everyone. Worshippers of Jehovah are not exempt. In fact, they are the primary target. The Apostle Paul alerts us to that fact, saying, we have a wrestling, not against blood and flesh, but against the invisible government, against the authorities, against the world rulers of this darkness, against the wicked spirit forces in the heavenly places, Ephesians 6:12. In our day, the pressure exerted by wicked spirit forces has reached an all-time high because Satan has been cast out of heaven and is furious. Oh, he is so angry because he knows his time is short. Knowing that his time is short. Revelation 12:12. Now, how is it possible for us to win in the struggle against superhuman spirits? Is it possible to win a struggle against superhuman spirits? Is it even possible? Yes, but only by complete reliance on Jehovah God. We must listen to him and obey his word. By doing so, we can be spared much of the physical, moral, and emotional damage experienced by you who are under satanic control. Veronica Vanderpuke, Vinnie Vincent, to hell, Denise, Marcia, the hooligan, Amber, the thing, James 4:7. Whom does Satan viciously oppose and how? Jehovah vividly describes for us the world situation as he sees it from his vantage point in the heavens. He gave the Apostle John a vision in which Satan was depicted as a great fiery colored dragon. He was poised to devour, if possible, God's Messianic kingdom as soon as it was brought to birth in heaven in 1914. Failing in that, Satan unleashed a flood of vicious opposition against the earthly representatives of that kingdom. Revelation 12:3 and 4, 13 and 17. Now, how would Satan wage this warfare? Through his own human representatives. Veronica, to hell, Denise, you're the representatives of Satan. Now, who is the source of power of human governments, and how do we know that? John was next shown a wild beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. a beast having authority over every tribe and people and tongue and nation. And that beast represents the entire global political system. John was informed that the dragon, Satan the devil, gave to the beast its power and its throne and great authority. Revelation 13:1 and 2 and verse 7. Yes, Satan is the source of the power and authority of human governments. Thus, as the Apostle Paul wrote, the true world rulers are wicked spirit forces in heavenly places who control human governments. All who would worship Jehovah need to grasp the full significance of that. Luke 4:5 and 6. To what are political rulers now being gathered? Although many political rulers profess to be religious, how many of them have you ever heard say that Jesus is our living King? Yeah. All struggle fiercely to hold on to their own power, see? They don't want to up that power to Jesus. Today, as the account in Revelation shows, expressions inspired by demons are gathering the world's rulers to the war of the great day of God the Almighty at Armageddon. Revelation 16:13 and 14 and 16, Revelation 19:17 through 19. Why is care needed in order to avoid being maneuvered into giving support to the satanic system? Every single day, people's lives are touched by political, social, economic, and religious conflicts that tear the human family apart. In these conflicts, it is common for people to take sides, verbally or otherwise, with the nation, tribe, language group, or social class of which they are part. We see that today with Trump and his entourage being attacked, the Republicans being attacked by the Democrats and vice versa. We ain't for either of them. We're for Jesus Christ. Even when people are not directly involved in some conflict, they often find themselves favoring one side or another. And Jehovah's Witnesses have to be extremely careful of that. But regardless of which person or cause they endorse, to whom are they really giving support? The Bible plainly states the whole world lies, or is lying, in the power of the wicked one, 1 John 5:19. How then can a person avoid being misled with the rest of mankind? Only by giving his full support to God's kingdom and by maintaining complete neutrality as to conflicts of the world. John 17:15 and 16. Sly devices of that wicked one. How is Satan's cleverness shown in his use of false religion? In all periods of history, Satan has used verbal and physical persecution to turn individuals away from the true worship. He has also employed more suitable means, cunning acts, and sly devices. He has cleverly kept a large proportion of mankind in darkness by means of false religion, making them think that they are serving God, lacking in accurate knowledge of God, and in love for truth. They may be attracted by mystical and emotional religious services or be impressed by powerful works. Remember the thing. 2 Thessalonians 2:9 and 10. But we are warned that even from among those who once shared in true worship, some will fall away, just as you did, paying attention to misleading, inspired utterances and teachings of demons. 1 Timothy 4:1. How could that happen? You know, Vanderpuke says she was raised in the truth and then fell away. How could that happen? How can Satan lure her and others into false religion even if they are worshiping Jehovah at the time? Slyly, the devil plays on our weaknesses. Does fear of man still have a hold on us? If so, we may give in to pressures from relatives or neighbors or friends to share in the practices that are of false religious origin. Are we proud? If so, we may take offense when counseled or when others do not accept the ideas that we advocate. Proverbs 15:10, 29:25, 1 Timothy 6:3 and 4. Instead of adjusting our viewpoint to conform to the example of Christ, we may incline toward those who tickle our ears by saying just what reading the Bible and living a God life are enough. 2 Timothy 4:3. Whether we actually join another religion or group or simply hold to our own brand of religion is not important to Satan. Satan don't care. just as long as we do not worship Jehovah in the way that God directs through his word and his organization here on earth. Now, how does Satan cunningly use sex to accomplish his aims? Well, ask Veronica Vanderpuke, or Denise, or any of these idiots. Satan also cunningly entices people to satisfy normal desires in wrong ways. He has done this with the desire for sexual intimacies, rejecting Bible morality. Many in the world view sexual relations between unmarried people as legitimate pleasure or as a way of proving that they are adults. And what about those who are married? Many commit adultery. And even when there is no infidelity in their marriage, numerous individuals seek a divorce or separation so that they can take up living with someone else. Satan's subtle approach aims to influence people to live for pleasure now, inducing them to ignore the long-range effects, not only on themselves and others, but especially on their relationship with Jehovah and his Son, Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians 6:9 and 10, Galatians 6, 7, and 8. By what means does Satan try to subvert our attitude toward immorality and violence? Well, he's got men marrying men. He's got religions, false religion today, married men marrying men, women marrying women. He's got children so confused they don't know whether they're male or female. Another natural desire is for recreation. When wholesome, it can be physically, mentally, and emotionally refreshing. But how do we react when Satan cleverly uses occasions of relaxation to try to alienate us, our thinking from God? We know, for example, that Jehovah hates sexual immorality and violence. When movies, television programs, or theater performances feature those things, do we passively sit and take it all in? Keep in mind, too, that Satan will see to it that such things become more debased as the time for his destruction nears. Since wicked men and impostors will advance from bad to worse, misleading and being misled, like you, Vanderpuke, and the rest of you idiots. You apostates, you disfellowshipped, you disassociated, you inactive ones. This is you, you're being misled. And as time goes on, you're being misled more. 2 Timothy 3:13. So we constantly, those that are on Jehovah's side, need to be on guard against Satan's designs. Genesis 6:13, Psalm 11:5, Romans 1:24-32. In what ways might even a person who knows the truth about spiritism be ensnared if he is not? But what if he's not in any form of spiritism, practicing divination, employing witchcraft, trying to communicate with the dead, or to testify to Jehovah? He knows this. What if he's not in any of those? If you do indulge in any of those, you're practicing things that are against Jehovah. Deuteronomy 18:10-12. Bearing that in mind, we would not think of consulting spirit mediums, and we would certainly not welcome them into our home to practice their demonic arts. Remember the thing? But would we listen to them if they appeared on our television screen or on the internet? Although we would never accept treatment from a witch doctor, might we tie a string around the wrist of our newborn with the thought that it might somehow protect the child from harm? Knowing that the Bible condemns binding others with a spell, would we allow a hypnotist to take control of our mind? Galatians 5:19-21. How is music used to get us to think about ideas that we know are wrong? How might a person's clothing, hairstyle, or manner of speech indicate admiration for those whose lifestyle Jehovah disapproves? What is the required on our part if we are to avoid falling victim to Satan's sly devices? Veronica Vanderpuke is a sly device of Satan. But of course I keep pumping her out. The Bible says that fornication and uncleanness of every sort should not, with unclean motives, even be mentioned among us. Ephesians 5:3-5. But what if such themes are accompanied by music that has a pleasing melody, a catchy rhythm, or a persistent beat? Will we start to repeat lyrics that glorify sex without marriage, or the use of drugs for pleasure, or other sinful acts? Or while we know that we should not imitate the way of life people who indulge in such things, do we tend to identify ourselves with them by imitating the way they dress, their hairstyles, short dresses, low cleavage? How insidious the methods are that Satan uses to entice humans to conform to his own corrupted way of thinking. 2 Corinthians 4, 3 and 4. To keep from falling victim to his sly devices, we must avoid drifting along with the world. We need to keep in mind who the world rulers of this darkness are and earnestly wrestle against their influence. 1 Peter 5:8. How is it possible for any of us with our imperfections to conquer the world that Satan rules? Before his death, Jesus said to his disciples, "Take courage, I have conquered the world." They too could be conquerors. Some 60 years later, the Apostle John wrote, "Who is the one that conquers the world but he who has faith that Jesus is the Son of God?" Such faith is shown by our being Jesus Christ. Well, and that brings this particular video to a close. So I want to thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for the next one, because there will be more. Thanks again, and have a nice day.